Hello Rebels, my name is Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today for our yinny, or what I like to call a mini yin session. So this time is all about us just really connecting with our bodies and working on balancing today both the right and left side, so that we feel like we can just release and let go of anything that no longer serves us. Just a few things that you might want to bring into your practice, maybe a mat or a towel, maybe you take your practice outside. I always welcome bringing in a human friend or a furry friend into your practice, and then blocks or books, and then maybe a pillow or a blanket of some sort, and of course water. It's so important that we drink lots of water before, during, and after our practice. So thank you so much for being here today. You've already done the most important thing, which is you have shown up for yourselves, and you've recognized that in order to take care of everybody else, you must first take care of yourself, which is a lesson I remind myself of all of the time. So let's begin and get settled in, starting with a moving meditation, massaging our vagus nerve, which is one of the largest nerves in our body. It helps regulate both parts of our central nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. So as we sit and get eased into our pose, rolling the shoulders up and back, knowing that the next half an hour is your time. So if you choose to just lay on your mat and listen to the soothing playlist, then do that. If you do 3 of the poses, all of the poses, 1 of the poses, you're on your mat, you're breathing. So congratulations, my friends, you are doing yoga. So sending those shoulders up and back, let's take a big breath in, and then sigh it out to cleanse. 2 more like that. Breathing in strength and what you want to welcome into your life. And releasing, letting go. 1 more, just like that. It's okay to make noise. It's encouraged to make noise as we breathe in. And sigh it out. Taking a minute to just connect with our strong center as we draw the belly button in and up, breathing in. And out, easy breath through the nose. Breathing in, gently drop the chin to the chest and over to the right shoulder. And as we breathe out, if it feels good to the neck, send the neck back. And then exhale over, chin to the left. Breathing into the center and the right, and breathing out back and over to the left shoulder. Continuing to move and breathe. Just noticing what's happening in the neck, not judging anything, just noticing as we begin to take some extra special care of our bodies and our minds, using the breath and movement to regulate and balance ourselves from the inside out. And the more we have that balance, the more we can focus on what do we want to let go of. Three more. And then we'll take it to the other side. Eyes can be open or closed. Moving at any pace that works for us. Maybe it's slower, maybe it's slightly faster. We just want to make sure we're not bobbleheading our way through this practice. And then slowly, gently bring the head back up to center, rolling the shoulders up and back. Big cleansing breath in. And push out what we want to let go of. Slowly release and swap those legs out, readjusting ourselves on the blanket or pillow if you're choosing to sit on those. And then taking the neck rotations the opposite way as we breathe it in and out. Breathe in, send the chin down. And this time over to the left. As we breathe out, head comes back and over to the right shoulder. So moving and breathing in the opposite way. Just noticing the difference from the right side to the left side. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, right here, right now. Reminding ourselves, I am breathing in, I am breathing out, I am present. 3 more just like this, wonderful job. Fantastic. Roll the shoulders up and back. Take a breath in all together. And release, let go. As we intend and begin to move, bring some movement into the practice. Just do a few gentle wrist and ankle circles. Just moving through anything that we need to release and let go of. We carry a lot of extra energy in the fingers and hands and the toes and the feet particularly. So it's good to just let that go. Let's take a big breath in and sigh it out. Before we begin our moving practice, go ahead and take a sip of water. So keep that water by our side as we move into our first pose of child's pose. So you might still want to use the blanket or a pillow for your knees. And then option to use a block for your hips as you bring and move from a seated position into a tabletop. Option here just to take a few cat-cows, just to get that spine warmed up. And if maybe just being in stillness in a tabletop is what you would like to do, then do that. Just matching a little bit of breath and movement. And then gently begin to come to a place of stillness. Big toes to touch. Our knees can come together or send them out to the edges of the mat. And begin to slowly walk the hands out as the hips come back and maybe they go on to, just gonna rearrange my blanket here. It's really important in the skin practice that we feel comfortable and safe and supported on the mat. So make any adjustments that you need as you send those hips back. Maybe this block works for you today. Maybe you try it for 2 breaths and then you cast it aside. So again, this is all about what works best for us. As we walk those hands out to the edges of the mat, sliding the forehead down, coming into a posture of child's pose. This is another pose that is excellent to help us regulate the central nervous system. It communicates to the body that we are safe and supported on our mats, which we are. Taking a breath in and sighing it out. Then return to an easy breath in through the nose and out. Feeling the rise and fall of the lungs against the thighs as we feel our heartbeat. Or can stay still here. Or maybe we choose to rock that head back and forth. Again, massaging the neck in a different way, also massaging that forehead, releasing tension, breathing in, and releasing. Five more breaths here. One more. And then slowly begin to slide the right hand to the right corner of the mat and begin to slide the left hand over and place that left hand on top of the right for a very gentle child's pose twist. So now working down from massaging that forehead and stretching the neck in a different way. We're also helping release the low back, and we're opening up through that oblique and really even into the triceps, the biceps, the forearms, as this left hand presses very gently onto the right. And then on the right, we're also helping compress the right side body. And once we release that, that'll release new blood flow into the air, into our bodies as we breathe in and release. We can slide the hands closer, taking those shoulders away from the ears, making adjustments. Again, all of this is about making adjustments, doing what feels best to us in our bodies as we breathe and release. Three more breaths here. Noticing where you're getting the stretch. What else can we let go of and release tension from as we slowly slide the forehead and the left hand over to the left corner, right hand comes over. And noticing how it feels as we stretch out that right side body, compressing on the left, breathing it in and out. Not comparing the sides, just simply noticing. Recognizing in order to grow, we must let go, we must release. So what can we let go of right here, right now, through our breath, through this gentle movement. Three more here. One more. Begin to slide the hands back up to the center of the mat. Slowly slide the hands up, being extra gentle with ourselves as we frame the face and begin to slowly rise up on the inhale. letting that freshly oxygenated blood pump back into our low body, taking a few stretches here, extending one leg back and then the other, and then slowly beginning to lower ourselves down into a half frog. So for half frog, we'll do it on the left side first. We gently slide the left leg out to the left. So we're not lifting anything, we're just sliding it so that the leg comes to a 90 degree angle and the foot is floppy. You are welcome to use a block to elevate the knee if you would like, just for an extra hip opener, using the arms as a pillow, or you can bring in another pillow. Can't ever have too many pillows in again. We'll send our head down, or maybe we send our head over to the right. So looking right as the leg goes left, gentle twist here as we move the weight down the body, focusing on opening up more in the shoulders, in the hip, pressing the top of this right foot into the mat as we breathe in, then release. Three more here. One more, breathe. Then release. Gently bring the head back to center. Remove the block or the book if you used it. Slide the left knee to meet the right. We can wiggle those hips a little bit or windshield wiper back and forth. And then keeping the left leg elongated, we'll do the same thing on the right. Sliding that right knee up to a 90 degree angle. And then placing the forehead either down on the hands for a pillow or taking the eyes over to the left for a twist. And we breathe. You don't have to use the block on both sides. Each side is different, each day is different. The time of day we practice is different. So just acknowledge that and say, what worked for me on this side isn't quite right on that side, and make adjustments just as we do off the mat. And we breathe all together. Feeling ourselves supported by the earth and the mat, feeling safe in our space and safe in our bodies. Three more breaths here. One more, we got this. Bring that precious head and neck back to center. Slide the hands close to the rib cage as we remove this block and just place it out to the side. You can windshield wiper the hips or send the legs back and forth. And then gently press the tops of the toes down. Hands by the rib cage as we slowly bring ourselves up. Coming to the long edge of the mat as we move into full frog. If you have a blanket or a pillow, I recommend that you use that. This pose can be kind of intense on the knees and on the hips, so make those adjustments. And then if you have a block or blocks, it might be good to rest your arms down here as we bring the knees out. So we're moving into a full frog. We will not be here for too long because this can be a very intense hip opener. So both knees are at a 90-degree angle, feet are out, and then we begin to slowly press our hips back in any place that works well for us. So that could be hands up here, elbows bent slightly, chest forward, or we press back and begin to lower down just a little bit. Maybe we come down to the hands and we're only here for a few breaths. Let's keep breathing and connect. I know this is a big posture, it's a big pose, so just breathe in, decide what we want to let go of right here, right now. Breathe with me. We got this. Two more. One more. And then slowly pull ourselves up. Begin to bring those knees together. Ooh, I know, it's intense here too. And then gently come back to the front of the mat. Placing the palms down, coming into that tabletop. Let's take a big breath in together. And sigh it out. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, just a gentle release with the downward dog. Lots of hip work at the beginning of this practice as we move a little bit further down, opening up, balancing both sides of the body. And then gently begin to send the knees back down to the earth. If you wanted to incorporate a plank and an upward facing dog, you could. For our purposes today, you can continue to add in any kind of movement you'd like. And as you come all the way down, coming down into a supported bridge pose. As we continue to use that blanket, you can even take a block and place the block and then the blanket on top, almost like you're covering up a table with a tablecloth, coming into that supported bridge pose. And then the other block you can use in between the knees, sending those arms out to a T, to a cactus. If we want to reconnect with ourselves and the idea of what we want to let go of, maybe we place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly to really focus on the breath, scooting the shoulders away from the ears as we breathe in. Release. Back to our easy breath. Starting to focus more on our low back, even more on our hips, and moving into just a few gentle movements for the lower half of the body as we breathe and release. Breathe and release. Getting settled into this posture. As we begin to open up in more of a heart-opening posture, seeing what can we welcome in. We started by really thinking about what we want to let go of, and now that we're opening up, What can we welcome in? What do we want to invite into our lives these last couple weeks of the semester? How do we want to feel? How can we support ourselves on and off the mat? Three more here, we got this. One more. Wonderful. Gently release the block from underneath the hips. Keep the block in between the knees. And the blanket can go off to the side for now because we're going to wrap up with that for our final posture of Savasana. Hug those knees in, just releasing anything in the low back. And then gently begin to send the arms out to a T or a cactus as we take the knees over to the left. Just as we did in that half frog, we can look up at the sky or we can turn the head. And now we're working on balancing out and aligning the whole body from the crown of the head all the way down to the ankles as we breathe and release. Closing the eyes down if we would like. Three more here. One more breath in. Gently bring the head back up to neutral. Hug everything in. Release the spine, release the low back. And then knees go to the right. Arms can come out to a T or a cactus, remembering that each side is different. So just play with what feels best to your body on this side. Same thing with looking up. Maybe looking up on this side feels the best. Or you want to even it out with the twist. Breathe. Continuing to focus on what do we want to invite in after working on letting things go so much throughout the beginning of this practice. Thinking about who and how we want to feel on and off the mat. How do we want to be? Three more here. One more. Bring the head back to neutral. Bring the knees in. Release the block from between the knees. Place it off to the side. Extend those legs up just for a moment. Any last minute movement or postures that you want to invite in. This is your body and your time. So move in a way that feels good to you. And then slowly let everything release and melt down. Grab your blanket or your towel. Wrap up. up, just welcoming in what we would like to receive. Breathing in, sighing it out. 2 more, breathe in. Release. As we inhale, we invite in who and how we want to be and feel. And as we exhale, we release any last part of the grip that we have on our mind, on our body, as we let it all melt down to the mat. Letting ourselves be embraced and enveloped. You're welcome to stay in this final resting posture of Savasana as long as you would like. And if you need to get about the day, begin to gently wiggle the fingers and the toes, tipping the head back and forth, rotating the ankles and the wrists. Reaching up just very slowly, languidly. And then gently rolling over onto the right or left side. Again, whatever you prefer, using the arm as a pillow. Breathing in gratitude. And breathing out gratitude. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Breathing in love. And breathing out love. Begin to slowly rise up. Being extra gentle with yourselves as always. Maybe bringing that blanket with you or your towel. Taking a big breath in as we rub the hands together and releasing it out. The light in you and me, we all shine together so bright. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me honors, respects, and appreciates the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, Rebels, for joining me today for our mini yin adventure. If you are ever on campus, you are welcome to join me in person every Wednesday morning from 6:15 to 7 a.m. at the Student Recreation and Wellness Center, and then every Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6:30, also at the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. You can also follow me on Instagram at neebsdoesyoga. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Make sure to take care of yourselves and, of course, drink lots of water. Thank you, Rebels. Great job.